Scientists mapping the cosmos stumbled onto a startling truth. The neural highways inside your brain mirror the universe's sprawling web of galaxies. Think about all those times personal growth gurus promised reality-shifting secrets. Maybe you meditated religiously, tried all the manifestation hacks, raised your energy, and still landed in the same old routine. Now, research blows the lid off why some lives transform, while others stay stuck in repeat. It's never been only about better advice or the hottest spiritual fad. The real power sits in how your mind actually tunes in to a quantum dimension that extends way beyond skin and bone. Visionaries like Tesla saw past surface-level answers, pointing right to the frequencies and pulses that thread together all of creation. His genius wasn't mystical babble. It was the blueprint for syncing human consciousness with the fabric of reality. It's not just modern science either. When Jung explored the depths of the psyche, he found epic patterns, archetypes, that echo in everything from a child's dreams to star systems. Turns out, your thoughts and feelings aren't isolated. There's something universal weaving through them. Ever get frustrated after pouring months into positive thinking, reading every self-help title, endlessly visualizing your best life, only to watch progress fizzle out and doubt creep back in? That moment when you wonder if it's all wishful thinking. That's exactly what we're tackling. Today's journey takes you straight into new ground. You'll uncover the connection most never spot. How the science of vibration, consciousness, and quantum geometry can let you influence reality from the inside out. Tap subscribe and that bell, because more paradigm-shifting insights are just getting started. The next step might rewrite everything you thought you knew about creating your reality. And this story begins with a discovery that flipped the entire script about existence itself. Picture two side-by-side photos in front of you. One shows neural pathways crisscrossing inside your skull. The other captures how galaxies cluster across deep space. When Franco Vazza from the University of Bologna and neuroscientist Alberto Folletti ran the numbers, they discovered something mind-bending. These structures aren't just similar, they're mathematically identical. We're not talking about poetic resemblance or loose comparisons. The fractal dimension of brain networks clocks in at exactly 2.79. The cosmic web's fractal dimension, also 2.79. The way information flows, how networks branch out, the hierarchical organization, everything follows the same mathematical blueprint. Tesla grasped this intuitively long before modern equipment could measure it. When he spoke of energy, frequency, and vibration unlocking universal secrets, he wasn't speaking in riddles. He was describing quantum physics decades before it became mainstream. Tesla's revolutionary insights came from directly accessing this fractal geometry shared between mind and cosmos. But here's where it gets wild. This connection goes beyond structure. It's operational. Nobel Prize winner Roger Penrose teamed up with anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff to discover that consciousness itself emerges from quantum processes inside microscopic tubes within our neurons. These microtubules maintain quantum coherence long enough to directly shape thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. Their Orc-Or theory reveals that every conscious moment corresponds to quantum possibilities collapsing into specific experiences. This means consciousness isn't passively observing reality. It's actively creating it every time you focus, choose, decide, or direct attention. You're literally collapsing quantum potentials into concrete experiences. Now consider a real scenario. You're working to manifest a career breakthrough. You visualize, affirm, feel grateful ahead of time, but nothing shifts. Why? Because your consciousness is operating at a frequency that doesn't match the fractal geometry of the reality you want to experience. Carl Jung discovered universal patterns, archetypes, that organize both our inner world and the structure of matter itself. The hero archetype, for instance, isn't just a psychological concept. It's an organizational pattern that manifests simultaneously in your psychological experience and in the quantum configurations surrounding you. When you truly embody the hero archetype, not just intellectually, but vibrationally, your consciousness syncs with that universal fractal pattern. That's when the magic happens. Except it's not magic. It's quantum physics applied through consciousness geometry. Ancient Hermetic teachings always proclaimed, as above, so below. Modern science has proven this isn't metaphor. It's literal description of fractal reality. The same patterns organizing galaxies organize your thoughts. The same geometry structuring the cosmos structures your psyche. Giuseppe Vitiello, from Italy's National Institute of Nuclear Physics, mathematically demonstrated that coherent structures forming in the brain correspond exactly to fractal representations in quantum field theory. Put simply, your consciousness can literally navigate through reality's fractal hierarchy, like music shifting octaves. But most people hit a roadblock: interference. Your conscious mind wants one thing, while your unconscious vibrates at a completely different frequency. It's like trying to tune into a radio station while another broadcaster jams the signal. The result is static, inconsistency, confusing outcomes. Jung called these complexes autonomous patterns in the unconscious that operate independently of conscious will. These complexes carry their own vibrational frequencies. When you try to consciously manifest something contradicting an unconscious complex, you create destructive interference in your personal quantum field. The solution isn't fighting these complexes, it's integration. Jung found that when we integrate shadowy aspects of the psyche, they stop creating interference and start collaborating with conscious goals. This isn't just psychology, it's quantum engineering of consciousness. Rupert Sheldrake proposed morphic fields, non-physical information patterns organizing the form and behavior of complex systems. These fields explain how collective memories influence individual experiences. When you align with a positive morphic field, like the abundant archetype or the healer, you instantly access all the memories of people who've successfully manifested similar outcomes. This explains why certain manifestation techniques work for some people, but not others. It's not about worthiness or karma. It's about fractal tuning. Your consciousness needs to vibrate at the same geometry as the reality you want to experience. Quantum physics discovered that entangled particles maintain instant connection regardless of distance. Einstein called this spooky action at a distance because he couldn't accept the implications. But today, we know quantum entanglement is real and measurable. Your consciousness can quantum entangle with any fractal pattern in the cosmos. When this happens, changes in your inner experience instantly reflect in your outer environment. This isn't law of attraction based on positive thinking. This is quantum entanglement based on vibrational coherence. Nikola Tesla demonstrated this practically. He visualized inventions with such clarity and coherence that he could mentally test them before physically building anything. Tesla wasn't just imagining, He was directly accessing the quantum potential of technologies that didn't even exist yet. The double-slit experiment proved particles behave differently when observed. But here's a detail most miss. The type of observation matters. Mechanical observation, through instruments, produces one result. Conscious observation, through an aware mind, produces completely different results. This suggests consciousness doesn't just collapse quantum wave functions. It can choose which collapse to create. Your conscious attention is literally a creative force shaping reality at existence's most fundamental level. But here's the secret few grasp. To use this creative power consciously, you need to understand your psyche's fractal geometry. Jung mapped this geometry through archetypes. Tesla accessed it through intuition. Ancient Hermeticists encoded it in symbols and rituals. You have access to this same geometry. It's inscribed in your brain's fractal structure. Every neuron, every synapse, every brainwave is an expression of this universal cosmic geometry. When you consciously align with this geometry, you become an active co-creator of reality instead of a passive recipient of circumstances. The pineal gland, which René Descartes called the seat of the soul, is rich in calcite crystals that can detect subtle electromagnetic fields. These crystals function as natural antennas tuning your consciousness to specific frequencies of the universal quantum field. When you meditate, visualize, or enter altered states of consciousness, you're literally adjusting your pineal's reception frequency. David Bohm, quantum physicist and Einstein's collaborator, proposed an implicate order behind manifest reality. This implicate order is a field of pure potentiality containing all quantum possibilities. Your consciousness accesses this implicate order through the fractal geometry shared between your brain and the cosmos. This explains why synchronicities happen when you're aligned with your deepest objectives. Jung defined synchronicity as meaningful coincidence, but they're not coincidences. They're manifestations of the implicate order organizing itself according to your consciousness's fractal pattern. When you truly understand that your individual mind is a local expression of a universal cosmic mind, you stop trying to force manifestations and start allowing them to flow naturally through your consciousness geometry. The simulation theory, proposed by Nick Bostrom, suggests our reality might be a computer simulation run by advanced civilization. But even inside a simulation, quantum physics laws still apply. Your consciousness still operates through fractal principles. You're still an active co-creator of your experience, simulated you're not. The quantum multiverse proposes that all possibilities exist simultaneously in parallel universes. Every decision you make creates a branch to a different timeline. Your consciousness navigates between these timelines based on your predominant vibration. When you consistently elevate your vibrational frequency, you naturally slide into timelines where your goals are already manifested. This is the true secret behind all spiritual traditions and scientific discoveries about consciousness. You're not separate from the universe, trying to influence it from outside. You are the universe, experiencing itself through an individual perspective. Your personal consciousness is literally cosmic consciousness focused at a specific point in space-time geometry. When you fully integrate this understanding, not just intellectually, but experientially, you become unstoppable. Not because you force reality to obey your will, but because you flow harmoniously with conscious creation's fractal geometry. Ancient Stoics already knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He didn't know about quantum physics, but he intuitively understood that consciousness is the determining factor in creating experience. Now you have the science to validate this timeless wisdom. Your brain operates in the same fractal geometry as the cosmos. Your consciousness can collapse quantum possibilities into manifested realities. You're literally connected to the universe's creative source through precise, measurable, mathematical patterns. The question isn't whether you can shape reality through consciousness. The question is, are you willing to take responsibility for being a conscious co-creator of your existence? Because once you truly understand your power, there's no going back to unconsciousness. You awaken to your nature as a conscious being operating through the infinite geometry of universal creation. And this is just the beginning of your journey as a conscious architect of quantum reality. You're starting to see the bigger picture now. Conscious manifestation isn't about memorizing techniques or following spiritual to-do lists. It's about grasping the vibrational architecture that links your awareness to cosmic design. When you sync your consciousness with this fractal blueprint, possibilities that seemed distant suddenly start materializing in your experience. This breakthrough about quantum connections between mind and universe isn't academic theory. It's a working key that unlocks your role as reality's conscious architect. Tesla tapped into this. Jung sensed it. Now you're walking through that same doorway. The journey of consciousness expansion never really ends, though. There's an infinite landscape of discovery ahead, and your next breakthrough is waiting right here on screen, ready to take your understanding even deeper. Share in the comments what hit you hardest from today's exploration. How is this fresh perspective on consciousness and creation changing the way you see your own power? Your insights spark something in others. Fellow travelers on this path need to hear your voice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.